Robert Knott is a writer, an actor, and a producer, and he just recently wrote Robert Parker's Iron Horse. Now, I know you also adapted Robert Parker's Appaloosa,
right,
which was directed by Ed Harris, starred Ed Harris and Renee Zellweger. But I would like to start with you and how your acting career kind of prepared you for what you're doing now.
Well, you know, once I got out to California, I got involved with a couple of different theater companies, and Ed Harris was part of the Met Theater. And Ed and I had, you know, an instant kinship, and then we started working together. Then I worked with Ed in Pollock.
And what did you do?
I played his brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sandy Pollock, and it's a, you know, the story of the abstract artist, and Marcia Gay Harden was in it, and she won the Academy Award for her performance, and Ed was nominated. Then when Ed read Robert B. Parker's Appaloosa, he called me up and he said, "Bobby, you see, you got to get this book." He said, "These characters are cool, and I really want to play this guy." So I read the book, and I said, "Yeah, we should do this."
We are going up against rank as a brag, right?
You can't be a lawman and let somebody take your prisoner.
When Appaloosa came out in book form, Ed Harris approached him saying, "I'd love to make a movie of this," and Bob was thrilled. And also, we were great admirers, I guess who isn't, of Ed Harris. And Bob, this was near the end of his life, and Appaloosa premiered at the Toronto Film Festival. And we walked the red carpet along with Viggo Mortensen, Jeremy Irons, Ed, of course, himself. Did I say Renee Zellweger? And then the movie began, and I looked over at Bob, and the tears were streaming down, because, again, uncharacteristically, he was very sentimental. In the adaptation, of course, one reason he was so happy with it is that it followed the book so closely.
Like you said, you've known me a long time, long as I've known you.
What was that like for you as far as a writer to go from writing original material to writing then an adaptation?
I mean, there's a lot of work involved in the screenwriting process, of course, but that Appaloosa story follows Robert's story pretty closely. You have to make some changes from novels to film. Certainly you have to shorten things. Now, going into writing the novel and writing Robert Parker's novel,
Yeah.
that was a whole nother
Kettle of fish.
a kettle of fish. It's a weird experience because, you know, I'm not Robert Parker. The last thing you want to do is try to copy Robert Parker. In the same fashion, you don't want to not copy or not emulate. You have to.
The whole idea is that you continue the following.
Yeah, and the great thing is I knew those characters from adapting Appaloosa and then working on the film, and Ed and Viggo bringing those two characters to life. You know, that's part of the information process too for me to understand, you know, their subtext and their subtleties as actors.
How did it happen that you, were you just the natural choice as far as the next writer for the Robert Parker novel of this series?
Well, I don't know how many people they auditioned, but they auditioned me. I'd already produced the movie, wrote the movie with Ed, been involved in, you know, I knew the book inside and out, I knew the characters inside and out. I thought I was a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
But I still had to go through kind of a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
Bob would always say, "I'm going to live to be 100. And we believed him because he was so strong on these convictions that he had. So we never had the conversation except that he would not want, upon his death, the characters to die as well. So we were convinced that it was the right thing when Putnam said we'd like to go on with the franchise, with the 3 series. So they conducted auditions. And then, of course, Bobby Knott, he too seemed to be a perfect fit to try his hand at this, and I think he did a great job.